Good morning. We have been thinking about how we have peer care for one another, and we've walked through a number of principles over the last number of videos. And I want to give you one more principle that's crucial to being able to effectively minister to one another. And that is that you need to learn to embrace prayer as a multifaceted instrument. So prayer is multifaceted as it relates to ministry toward others. Of course, prayer is a discipline that we talk about. Yet the more I read about prayer, the more I study prayer, the more I experience prayer, the more I hear about prayer, I certainly still see it as a kind of discipline, but I'm moving a little away from that in my lexicon, so to speak, and how I think about it. I think about it more as a act of desperation. It's more the regular acknowledgement of my own weakness, my own dependency. So in a sense, I'm most human when I'm praying. I'm most in a frame where I recognize my frame. I'm most living in what is really real when I pray, because my finitude is always before me. The regrets of the past, anxieties of the future, things that rob me of my present always seem to sit there sort of bookended on the shelf in front of me, and I know you experience that as well. And it's important to note that prayer is the thing that helps me identify with how to be fully present, because it reorients me every time I pray. If I'm thinking deeply about it at all, it gets me in the right frame of understanding who I am and who I'm not, what I am and what I'm not, capacities that I have to relate to God, capacities that I don't have to solve my own stuff. So prayer is vital in a lot of ways in just what it means in my own self-orientation. But I want to think about it is specifically in regard to a multifaceted instrument in ministry to one another. So to do that, I'm just going to bang out 5 things here. And this morning's sort of thought for the week is really not so much chapter and verse from Scripture as much as it is just some theological and ministerial thoughts and hopefully some wisdom regarding how prayer can be used to help as a multifaceted instrument. The first of the 5 things you need to know is this. Prayer moves you beyond a bilateral relationship. It moves you beyond a bilateral relationship. And here's what I mean. Prayer invites God and forms a triangle. Right now, it's me and my neighbor. It's me and my wife. It's me and my kids. It's me and my friend. It's me and my coworker. It's me and my family member. But it becomes me and whoever and God. And now I've invited God into this. And you say, well, isn't he already in it? Well, yes, in the sense that he's sustaining it, and yes, in the sense that he controls all things, but there's something about my conscious awareness of and my welcoming of God and his wisdom into this relationship, right? So you're going to minister to someone. You're going to talk with them. You're going to give them advice and counsel and direction. What should you do first? You should pray. You should seek the Lord's wisdom. You should not assume that you know what to say or how to say it, but you should invite God to give you the spontaneous wisdom and to texture your words in such a way that both your attitude and the content of what you say, its context and its content, both conform to that which God would desire for you to say. So prayer, it moves me beyond just relating here to relating like this, right? And now it's this triangularity that emerges where God's a part of the dynamic. Secondly, prayer appeals to the only one who knows how to tinker with the other person's soul. So the reason I need that wisdom is because only God knows how to tinker with that soul. I don't. And if I presuppose how to tinker with it, I could do the wrong thing. I could ratchet the wrong thing. I could adjust something that I could do it wrong. And I could actually harm more than I help. And so what I want to do is say, Lord, I'm going to share, but I need you to tinker. I'm going to speak, but I need you to move. I'm going to talk, or I'm going to engage, or I'm going to serve, or I'm going to love, or I'm going to be present with, but I need you to do the internal work. And it's important, because if we don't do that, we'll press too hard and try to do our own internal work, and that becomes a problem for us. Third, prayer is the only effectual tool that is available to you. That is, ultimately nothing moves another person's life. Nothing except prayer. Only God moves hearts. You, me, podcasts, articles, books. We don't move hearts. None of that does. Information is good, but God moves hearts. So prayer invites the only one that can move into the equation. Fourth, praying not just for someone, but with someone. Your arm around them. Brother, let's bow before the Lord. Sister, let's pray together. Praying with someone out loud allows them to be ministered to by your prayer. That is, if you've never experienced this, I'm sure many of you have, but when someone prays for you with passion, when someone prays with you, like for you, but they're with you, and you hear their words, and you hear how they talk to God, right? I have friends that I pray with on regular calls, and they pray with me. And when I hear them pray, and I hear their heart from me, it puts wind in my sails as I move forward in my life and ministry. You have that opportunity with others, because knowing that you're going to the throne of God and how you're going to the throne of God for them is such an encouragement to people. Number 5, prayer establishes a diving board for follow-up. So prayer, I've prayed with you, I've prayed for you, I've invited God's wisdom into ministry, and now prayer becomes the thing that now I can process where to go next. I can pray about where to go next, but I also get insight into where to go as I pray with you, as I hear your heart more. And so prayer becomes a way in which I can take a next step. So you might be stymied. You might not know what to do for somebody, right? What should I don't know what to say to them. Ask them what you can pray for. Then they'll share with you, and guess what's going to happen? They're probably going to open up new burdens. They're going to open up things they haven't opened up before, things you didn't know, and you're going to be able to say, okay, now here's a new avenue I can go down. And then you can begin the cycle of these principles of ministry all again on a new subject matter with them, because you prayed for them, or you asked what you could pray for them, and it opened up new avenues of ministry to them. So prayer moves you beyond a bilateral relationship. Prayer appeals to the only one who can tinker with the soul. Prayer appeals to the only one who can ultimately move hearts. Praying with someone out loud offers such encouragement as they hear your heartfelt words. And prayer forms a kind of diving board into further ministry. Process these things, think about them, and may the Lord bless you as you seek to minister to one another effectively. Take care.